Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the EG Hatchback race car build. Had a great time with Austin for Thanksgiving. Really enjoyed spending some quality time with him, and he sped up this process a lot. Let's dive right into it. So, I'm sure you guys all saw that Austin got the dash all taken out. He did an incredible job, and I am just starting to get used to kind of how this car is different from my other car. So, I finally got the special tool to get these lug nuts off. This car came with like aftermarket rims and had some special lug nuts, so I wasn't able to dive into this. So anyway, got this all taken off, and just in the process of getting this car built. So the cool part about doing this car is I got the opportunity with my first car to figure out everything that I liked about how I did it, and the things that I maybe didn't like or thought maybe wasn't done the best. So I'm really excited about building this one because I have an idea of how I want it to look, what I want it to be, and I really want this car to be probably one of our better cars because it is the hatchback. It's the lightest of all the cars that we're going to have. It has the opportunity, horsepower to weight ratio to race locally, or if we continue to progress, maybe even get into some bigger races, some SCDRA races, that would be a big jump for us, but we at least have the option. So taking a look at this, I am just going to dive in and kind of get an idea of this suspension. The RSX has a different suspension. This has, I think, what they call like a double wishbone suspension, which a lot of Honda enthusiasts really liked how it handled. So I'm just going to kind of work my way around, see what I can find. So I'm not going to bore you anymore with this long time lapse, but basically the same material that is in the floorboard of the cars for this car is actually all along the fender well. So just taking the saw and trying to kind of guide my way around, and I'm going to slowly but surely get all this stuff taken off. If you've watched our channel at all, you know that no one loves talking more about how much a car weighs than old Skylar Fleming. So I'm not going to weigh it and weigh it again, but we do need to get all this stuff off and get the car as light as possible. Plus, that's just not, this is stuff that I believe could be potentially flammable if you had a problem. So it needs to come off. All right, so got the wheel put back on and a lot of that material taken off the fender well. Let's transition to a different project. That's taking a little bit longer than expected, and that's okay. We can always come back to that. But let's get to something that will make a little bit more of a difference. So let's see if we can take out an engine. First time ever trying to remove a B-Series engine. See how this goes. Stop there because I'm just trying to learn my way around this engine and how to get everything off of it to make it a little bit smoother when we're pulling it out. Like I said, this is my first time working with the B series, so obviously the concept is the same, but the implementation of where everything is a little bit different. I think I'll be good to go once I kind of look at it a little bit longer. So let me do a little research and I'll get back to the video. Okay, so I might have let my anger get the best of me on this one, but we got this thing out. I know. There's probably 1,000 ways people are gonna say you could have got this out if you did this, but felt kind of good. And we're back at it. So I didn't record this because, well, you can kind of see this is a big jumbled mess. I'm attempting to take basically the entire engine harness and dash harness all at one time, and I'm trying not to rip anything out as far as plugs and wires because I'd like to sell this entire swap with everything all together. So got this, for the most part, is ready to go other than the engine harness side, and so got the steering wheel dropped so that I could get some wiring around it. And I mean, this car is nothing, guys. It's crazy. Like, it's just so like little and light, which is pretty cool. Also got the hood latch all taken off and started taking off the engine harness so that I can get that pulled through and eventually get this thing pulled out. I was researching a little bit on how the axles come out in this car as far as taking them out of the groove and everything. All right, a Fleming, Skylar, how's this for weight reduction? Got everything taken out. This thing is really coming together. Look at this. We got a go-kart now. No wires, engine harness, dash harness, everything is pulled. So now, just getting ready to try to get the axles out and get this bad boy lifted out of here. Making great progress here. Alrighty, so I got everything taken apart, but you can probably tell in the video that I'm having a hard time. Basically, there's a pin right there that separates that from that, and then allows you to take this axle out. So I'm gonna pause the time lapse because it's not gonna be very exciting trying to see me wrestle with this thing for probably the next 10 minutes. I'm sure there's an easy way to do this, so I will look it up online and check back in with you guys. Used to doing things by myself. Let's get to work. So we're back at it. I wasn't able to even get that axle out of the spindle. It's completely seized up into the spindle, just like the driver's side was. So I think I was able to get it out of the transmission and hopefully folded down enough that I can pull the whole engine out and then allow myself more room to work that axle out of the spindle. As far as the shift linkage, I wasn't able to either also get the pin out. I hit it trying to knock it up out of the groove, and I could not get it out. So I decided to just take the entire shift linkage basically off and fold it to the side as well so we can pull it out and again, give me some more room to work. Let's dive into this, see how this goes. All right, y'all see this face? This is the face of frustration. Let me give you guys a glimpse of what I just spent like probably 35 to 40 minutes on. Here we go. This crap right here, I just spent my entire night trying to get that axle out of there. So the bottom ball joint would not come out. It was seized. So then I had to call my buddy Wayne, and he told me, just go ahead and, since that one wasn't coming off, just go ahead and take the entire top one off and lean this thing over, which I did. I got the axle off the half shaft, and then I was fighting with this thing, so I was like, okay, let me just take this brake line off and go up here and just take this out of my way. Guess what? That's stripped. Then, after getting this thing leaned over, finally, this thing was seized in the spindle. And I just knocked it for like 10 minutes straight. So anyway, I might call this a night because nothing's really going right tonight. It's just one of those nights. Well, there you go. There's a good look of what I'm dealing with. I don't think this stuff's been touched for like probably 10 years. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I screwed this up big time. So, yeah, I got crap all over my floor. I couldn't get the engine tilted out at the right way. My biggest freaking mistake was not just taking off the headers, and the headers ended up catching on one part of the engine and would not let it come up. And so I'm pausing the video because I'm freaking frustrated and letting you guys into this part of the world which is sucking. I suck right now. So anyway, so that I don't like drop an engine, I just figured I'd stop the time lapse and kind of go from there. But not my best work here, fellas. Not my best work. Alright, so I got this stupid thing out. Not been my night, guys. Not been my night. After talking with Skylar, I realized I had this car up on jack stands and it was tilted, and that's probably the whole reason that the header's caught. It's about 12:45 a.m. and I think I'm just tired and I'm making dumb mistakes. The reason the car was tilted is because I couldn't get the axle out. Couldn't get the axle out. So, because it was locked into the spindle, so I had it up on the jack stand because I couldn't get the ball joints out, so I had to lay the entire thing over, then try to get the axle out. Couldn't get the axle out, so I wasn't able to put the tire on because it wasn't going to do anything. So I had it up on a jack stand, which led to the car being tilted, which led to me screwing up this entire process. So, I'm calling it a night. I'm tired, frustrated, but at the same time, it's done. Move on to bigger and better things. We have these nights. You got to put them past you, move forward. That's what makes it rewarding on the back end, is when you get it to completion and you know what you went through to get it done. I'm sure you can all relate. Hope you have a great night. Like, comment, subscribe. You'll see me in the next one. It'll be a lot better.